Hey guys, and welcome back to another speed paint. So first of all, I want to apologize for last week. Not last week. Wednesday, Tuesday. When do I upload? Wednesday's video where it was just like a 5 minute, less than 5 minutes, like a 3 minute, quote unquote non-rant. I don't know why I said quote unquote. I just got so frustrated. It's really annoying when you are working on something and it takes time and then something happens out of your control and you just lose everything. So I apologize about that. Probably shouldn't have just left it there and recorded it the next day, but I just wanted to finish it and upload it because I'm always scared that if I don't do it that moment, then the next day I might not have power, I might not have internet. Like so many things can happen and then I'm just not gonna have it on time, which is like a stupid concern because I upload them a week in advance for that same reason. But I don't know, I just for some reason feel like it should be on Patron when I say, because I put unnecessary pressure on me, and I know I'm being like completely conscious of that, but that means nothing. Like being conscious about the dumb shit you do doesn't mean you stop doing the dumb shit, because it just doesn't work like that. I feel like if you're anything like me and you have like, you know, either bad habits or just negativity and bad thoughts, being like conscious that they're negative or that you're like that it's a bad habit doesn't mean you can stop doing it. I can put it as simply as like you know, chewing your nails. I chewed my nails for years when I was a teenager, like when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, and I knew chewing my nails is bad because not only like does it hurt sometimes when you chew on them a little too short, but also like you have so many bacteria under your nails, and like your under your nails is probably one of the dirtiest places, so you're also getting like all that bacteria into your system. And so, and I also like my hand, always got told shit like by my teachers. My mother never like said anything about it. It was usually my teachers and like the psychologist in my school, and like I guess in English it's called a school counselor, we call it a psychologist. But like, oh, your hands are gonna smell like saliva. No boys are gonna like girls with hands that smell like saliva, while like every single boy I've ever met chewed their nails. So like, it's such a stupid thing. But you know, shit like that, people always told me that, and I knew it was a bad habit, but that didn't mean that I could stop chewing my nails. It took me years of like products and just trying to be more conscious. And like, I used to use this thing, I don't remember what it's called. It was called like lemon and garlic something, and you put it on your nails and it made your nails taste so bad. And it wasn't just that the taste was bad, it was that the taste lingered in your mouth for like the whole day, and that really helped me stop chewing my nails. And I stopped chewing them for years until recently, like March, April, when this whole quarantine started. I started chewing my nails like crazy again, and now they're all disgusting and my hands smell like saliva, like my counselor used to say. And I know it's a bad habit and I can't stop it because it's very unconscious. And I think negative thoughts and, you know, all those things, it's like when people say like, oh, you have depression, well, just be happy, think happy thoughts. It's not that easy. And well, I don't know, this is already going totally the wrong way. I mean, it's not like I had anything planned to say today. I've been trying to at least plan what I'm going to talk about. Maybe if I don't have a script, at least have an idea of things I want to say. But I've had a migraine since yesterday. If you don't know this, I suffer from chronic migraines, which means more often than not I have a migraine. It's more common for me to have a migraine than to not have one. I'm really good at coping with them. Most of the time, they are not so unbearable that I can't function. Or maybe like I've just had them for so long that I don't feel like they're unbearable. Like I've learned to live with them. Maybe if you're like a new person, I've never gotten a migraine before, and you get the kind of migraines I get, they would like throw you in bed. But well, not me, it takes a really, really strong migraine for me to just give up and don't do anything, especially because I don't know why. I guess it's because headaches work this way, but migraines don't work. They're not the same as headache. Everyone always tells me like, why are you doing stuff? Why don't you just go to sleep if you have a migraine? In my experience, and I know a lot of people who also suffer from migraines, they have the same experience. Sleeping just makes your migraines worse. If you go to sleep with a migraine, you're probably gonna wake up and have like 10 times more pain, unless you drink something before. Like if you take a pill or something, then it might help to sleep. But like more often than not, if I have a migraine, sleeping just makes it worse. Makes it way worse. Like I've gone to bed with like a little bit of, like it feels like there's something in my eye, but nothing crazy. Like it feels like the start of something, but I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna probably drink some water and go to bed. And then I wake up at 4 a.m. sweating, migraine. I can't hear properly because my hearing is like super sensitive. Everything smells terrible. My sense of smell is probably the thing, I guess, the worst when I have a migraine. I smell everything very intensely, and I always have a bad smell in my nose when I have a migraine, which is just disgusting. I'm not that bad with lights. I know a lot of people are bad with lights. I need to have like a really, really bad migraine for me to be bad with lights. I think I can mostly tolerate lights as long as they're not like incredibly bright, because even normal me can tolerate incredibly bright lights. Like my ring light, for example, is so bright I can't. I've been like coexisting with it because I want my streams to look better, but I hate it so much. It's so bright. I feel like it's hurting my eyes, which is why I had glasses that help with that, but my glasses are gone. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, I've had a migraine. Like yesterday, it wasn't so bad. Yesterday was really tolerable. Then it kind of almost completely disappeared, to the point that only if I remember I had a migraine, I felt it, which happens sometimes. Sometimes I'm like so concentrated doing other stuff where I start like watching shows or listening to music and I forget about it. But if I remember, I can feel it. And then I went to bed and I woke up and my migraine was worse. And I just took some pills and went back to bed, mostly because it was like I couldn't see properly and I was just very nauseous. And I stayed in bed almost all day, all afternoon, because I was in bed but I wasn't sleeping. I was just like on my phone, because I find that being in bed, or not like laying down in bed but sitting down in my bed, helps. Like sometimes if I'm standing up or if I'm laying in bed on my pillow, the migraine is worse, but if I'm sitting down, it calms down. It's really, honestly, my migraines are very irrational. They make no sense. They confuse doctors. I don't have a proper diagnosis. I don't even have a proper treatment. It's just a lot, I've gone to many doctors. I've gone to many specialists and neurologists. Nobody knows what I have, which is pretty common. Migraines are a big mystery in the medical world. Anyways, I was in bed, I was sitting down, and then I started feeling like really good. Like no nausea, no nothing. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna feel good, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna stream and I'm gonna draw and I'm gonna do all those things I have to do. And then I stood up and it was like, I don't know, something fell on me. Like my head started like throbbing. Like I could feel the tiny little vein on my forehead beating. Like I just could feel it. I got super nauseous. I thought I was gonna throw up. I had to go right back to bed because standing up, not a good thing. So eventually I started feeling a little better, and I decided that instead of sitting in my bed, I could just sit in my computer, which it's not as good as sitting in my bed. I don't know. I think it's an elevation thing because my bed is obviously lower. Well, I don't know if obviously, but my bed is lower than my chair. So I sat on my chair and it's not the same, but it still didn't feel too bad. And I started editing and doing some stuff. I started editing the SPEEDPAINT, and then like I had food, and once again, and food is not a trigger for me. I know food, especially sweets, candy, chocolate, are triggers for people for migraines. I don't have any triggers like that. I don't have food triggers. I just ate and felt nauseous. So I went to bed and I took a nap for like 3 hours, I want to say. And I woke up and I got some, like, not the best news, but I got like I saw some cool things that were happening, and I started feeling a little better. And now I'm here recording this, and it's really hot, and I still feel like throwing up a little bit, but manageable. It's a manageable one thing to throw up. I like the kind of throw up I would get when I was a child, and I would tell my mom that I didn't want to have breakfast because it made me want to throw up. And she was like, no, you're too underweight, you don't eat anything, eat your breakfast. So I would eat my breakfast, and then I would proceed to want to throw up all morning. Reason I don't eat breakfast nowadays. I know it's like super unhealthy to not eat breakfast, but I rather not feel like throwing up. It's not that I don't eat breakfast at all, I just don't eat anything solid. I have a big glass of soy milk because I can't eat dairy. So I have a big glass of soy milk. That's all my breakfast. Sometimes if I'm feeling like super hungry, I make food, or my mom makes me food. But then I almost always regret it afterwards because I get so nauseous. I never know why. And I think at this point I'll never know why. Just like I feel like I'll never know why I get migraines. And I'll never know why I know why I can't gain weight. I have a very fast metabolism, so everything I eat just disappears almost immediately. So that's why I have a really hard time gaining weight. I have a long list of medical issues. I'll be here for hours. I'm like one of those people that is just like made wrong. Like when God was making me, I don't believe in a God like that. Just being funny, quote unquote funny. When God made me, it kind of was like making a human, and then it was like, hey, let's do something else, and then they just left me like that in the middle. I never got like healthy powder. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying yet. Apparently God mixed us with powder. I didn't get healthy powder, okay? I have a lot of health issues, and not only that, but I have like there's this thing, like I don't like talking about it too much. Some days I'm like fine talking about it, some days I don't. But recently a lot of people have texted me asking me if I want to participate in protests, or if I want to like participate in a kind of like a pride march thing that some people are planning, even though I really don't want to go out because, once again, I have a lot of health issues, and COVID is still very real. Even though people are like acting like COVID is gone and there's a vaccine already, COVID is still very real and still very scary to me. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking to like if I want to participate in all this stuff, and I just always have to say no because my legs don't walk like they used to before. I have like third degree burn scars on my legs, and those do not work outside. Like if I walk for more than 5 minutes and it's hot, they feel like 1,000 fire ants are biting my legs. That's how it feels. So I always have to reject that, and I always feel bad because I would love to be part of something like that. I always find it like so important and so interesting, and I'm just seeing so many people get together for a cause. But I feel like I would be a burden because you're never supposed to go to like protests or marches or anything like that alone. You always go with someone. And that's like one of the biggest advice for people who are protesting. If you're when this video goes up, I'm hoping people don't have to protest, but I'm pretty sure people are still gonna be protesting, and nobody's gonna be talking about it because nobody's talking about it right now. Even though I know people who are protesting right now and they're complaining about how nobody's talking about it. But yeah, don't go alone. And that's the thing, like I don't want to burden my friends with having to deal with me having to sit down every 5 minutes because my legs are burning, which is what happens when I Christmas shop. It's why I hate shopping. I hate shopping because I have to walk and it gets very painful. And it's not always, like some days I'm very fortunate and lucky and I can walk for hours and not feel anything, and then other days I walk for 2 minutes and I'm crying and dying, and my mom is like trying to get me a cold water bottle to put on top of my legs. Well, I think I just ranted for 40 minutes about all my health issues, so well, that was fun. Now you know more about me, and now you know how just stupid my life is. I don't want to like come off as whiny or anything like that. I just feel like sometimes I feel bad when I tell people, like when people are like, oh, do you have this commission ready? And I'm like, no, I had a migraine. I've been having a migraine for 3 days. Happening a lot when I was in university with classes. Like I used to do class projects and I would like be like, oh, I think I can't do anything today because I have a migraine, but I'll work on it tomorrow or maybe at like 3 a.m. when I don't have a migraine. And I would have like classmates or people I was in a group project for be like, you have a migraine again? And I'm like, yes, Susan, it's called a fucking chronic migraine, and I have them all the time, almost every day. Especially when I was in university, I had a migraine almost every day, even weekends. No rest for my migraines when I was taking classes. So I always felt like people thought I was lying, so which sucks. But I mean, most people don't understand what it's like to have a migraine, so like, how would they know? And I just feel like maybe the world would be a better place if we just like all understood that some people go through some stuff. But I mean, I guess that's asking too much for some people. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this here because I already bumped all of you out. Sorry for bumping you out. I feel better about my migraine, so that's good. And I did not talk about this speed paint, but it was an old Inktober drawing. I recolored it. Shout out to my friend Poxy who gave me the color palette. I mean, Poxy, she gave me like, I sent her the Clip Studio file and she colored it. I think you can see it for like a second there. She just like very rapidly colored it in, and then that's the colors I use. I'm thinking about doing that with more of my friends, or like just whoever wants to suggest colors for my drawings. I think that's a really cool thing. I really like the colors she chose, so thank you very much. I only changed one color, which was the lip color, because it just wasn't vibing with me. It was a little too bright for me, but I think it looks good. And thank you so much for suggesting a color palette. And I'll see you next week. Have a good day, good night, good fight. And please sign all the petitions if you haven't. They'll be in the description. Okay, thanks, bye.